All right, good evening, everybody. I hope that you've had a wonderful day. It was really nice outside, a little bit windy. If you're old school and you were born, we don't talk about when, but if you consider yourself old school, you remember when we were little kids, this was the time of year we'd have our little kites outside. And if you grew up in the country, you was in the middle of the field with your kites. That's what kind of day it was today. Today was a kite flying day to me. So I hope that if you have a kite, you got out, you flew your kite, you had a good time, you enjoyed yourself. My name is Wonder Lowe. I'm the host of the Ladies Lounge with Wonder Lowe. So I'm happy to be here tonight. Glad to see you all again this week. Hope you enjoyed the show from last week. I had a wonderful friend on from Memphis, Tennessee, now in Florida, who is blowing up on the scene, doing everything. She has books out on affirmations. So make sure you go back and watch that video so you can get the information on her affirmations book. Also, let's do our little housekeeping. So, if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Take your shoes off, kick up your feet, get you something to drink, sit back, and get ready to take part in the discussion. We do have a comment section on there. If you want to make a comment during the show, please do. We'd be happy to answer any questions if we have time at the end, or might sometimes we throw them in the middle. But if you want to make a comment, please do so. You can watch us two different ways. You can watch us on YouTube. Good evening, Miss Margaret Jackson. Thank you. See, I like her already. She just got right on in there and said good evening. Thank you. So you can watch us on YouTube. And if you do, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and you hit the little bell that gives you notifications when new shows are posted. If you are watching us on Facebook, then make sure you flip over when it's over and make sure that you go to the Ladies Lounge with Wonder Lowe on Facebook and like us and follow us there. You can also watch any of the past videos. I think I've been on now in June. It'll be 3 years. So plenty of videos to watch, plenty of content if you want to go over and check it out. So we appreciate the people that have already liked the page and have been watching the videos and commenting and sharing and liking and all that stuff. And we hope that you'll keep doing that. Um, I want to talk about this subject tonight. So I'm gonna cut all my normal commentary. We're gonna get straight to talking because this is one of the most important things that we probably can be talking about right now. And trust me, you all know with everything going on in the world, there's a lot of things that we need to be talking about. But tonight we're going to focus on self-care. We're going to talk about as women and men, because I try not to leave y'all out, but then sort of kind of do. But we're going to talk about how important it is for us to focus on taking care of ourselves. Because one of the things we do as women, we take care of everybody else. We run for the kids. We run for the grandkids. You got a husband to take care of. You got a house to take care of. You have a job that you take care of. You even take care of coworkers. And normally the last person on that list is who? You. So tonight we're going to talk about how important it is that we take care of us. And I think that I have like the best person in the world tonight as my guest to talk about that. I have our very own self-care for women, no, self-care 101 for women. I like to call people gurus. She's an advocate, and I love that word because anybody that can advocate for you, for themselves can advocate for you. But she's a self-care advocate, and she promotes us being healthy and talking about healthy things and mental and keeping everything together. So I'm going to read you a little bio real quick, and then we're going to let her tell us a little bit more about herself. So we know we had to use our whole Christian name first. Then we'll go to the next name.
The whole name.
The whole name. Lenora Jackson-Ayers is a self-care advocate. After over 20 years of working as a social worker and helping others professionally, she realized that she needs to take some time to focus on her own health and wellness in order to continue to be a benefit to others. She currently educates others on how to develop self-care plans that can help them to do the same. She also provides a I can talk, y'all, box where self-care is delivered monthly to your door. Oh, I didn't know about that. Okay. Lenora was born and raised in southern Arkansas. She presently lives in Alexander, Arkansas. She has been married for 24 years and has two beautiful grown daughters and one granddaughter. She is very active in her church and community outreach, where she is the program director. She is currently employed at the University of Arkansas Little Rock as a child welfare trainer in the social work department. She holds an associate's degree in liberal arts that she received from U of A, Phillips County in 1994, a Bachelor of Arts of Social Work from ASU in 1995. She has a Master's of Social Work that she earned from Euler in 2006. You can connect with her on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Living Well with Nora, and she has a podcast on Spotify, Anchor, y'all, like the ship's anchor, Apple iTunes, Stitcher, and Pocket Cast. So welcome to the Ladies Lounge, Ms. Nora Ayers. Look, let me do this here. I gotta get some sound effects. So thank you so much for being our guest tonight. I am so excited. Like I said earlier, one of the things that we really have to focus on is how to take care of ourselves and how to slow down. And I'm one of those people that I will honestly say I should be your first customer to learn how to slow down, be still for a little while. So go ahead and tell everybody a little bit more about yourself.
Oh, well, you kind of covered pretty much a lot. And like you said, being a self-care advocate, that pretty much came about for me because in 2003, I was diagnosed with a condition called fibromyalgia. And I know it's one of those big words. Most people may not know about it. But that is where you experience a lot of chronic pain. I mean, you can look at me and you wouldn't tell that I'm a person who have physical pain. And that's a lot of times where people, that's the thing with fibromyalgia. You never know when it's going to show up. You never know when you're going to be in a condition where you can function. And so with having fibromyalgia, that has impacted me a lot in a lot of things that I do. And so we'll fast forward to like 2017. At that time, I was practicing in a clinic, providing outpatient therapy. And it came to a point where I had to make a decision as to was I going to be able to continue working, or was I going to have to take some necessary time for myself? And that was the hardest decision that I had to make, was if I was going to be effective in helping others, I needed to step back. And a lot of times we kind of be in denial because you worry about what people's going to think. Like, why would you leave your job? Or, why are you not doing what you normally do? And so I remember being leaving from the office because they asked me, well, was I going to return? And I said, well, do you have a part-time position? And they was like, no, we don't. And for me, I knew if I couldn't work part-time because I needed that time to take care of myself and continue to work, I had to make a decision that I was not going to be able to return to the office. That was spring break 2017. And I had been off since November of that, because I was trying to take care of myself, and they had physical therapy. And I had to tell them I wasn't going to come back. And I remember driving off because my husband had drove me up there, and I was in the middle of Markham crying. Because for me, that was really hard, because even when I was growing up, I knew I wanted to be a social worker after I figured out what it was. And for me to make that decision of I'm not going to be able to do this for a period of time, it was very hard. So that is where I started to, how can I still help people and myself? And, because that's what I do. It's like, that's what I do. And so I started educating myself on self-care and how I can take care of myself. And even when I was in the clinic, my patients was asking me for 15, 20 minutes, they want to talk about me. And as a therapist, that's not what we do. You hardly ever self-disclose. And so that was one of the things when I accepted the fact that I had to step back and take time for me. That's how we got to where I am today as being a self-care advocate, to educate people that you have to identify what's going on with you. Don't be in denial, because like you said in the beginning, we wear a lot of hats. Women wear a lot of hats, and you're always doing for other people. And self-care is vital to purpose, whatever your purpose is. And whether it's a mom, a business owner, working in your church, a preacher, is vital. If you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of others? So
Exactly.
that's what you need to know about me. That's my platform. That's what I do. If you see me in a training, that's one of the first things that I start talking about is how important it is to balance your time and to be a good worker. A lot
Mhm.
of DFS workers, they hear my story talking about how important it is to take care of yourself because you're giving. That's your job, is to give and take care of those children. So
Yeah.
that's a little bit about me. And I do like to make things. I had to
Okay.
educate my clients that I was working with to have a therapeutic outlet.
Mhm.
So what better example to be than to make stuff myself? So that's what I do. That's one of the things I like, crafting and making things. And I did not put that in my bio that
Okay.
I like sewing, taking pictures, blinging out stuff, anything that if you think it, I can blink it. So
Oh wow.
I like
That's why I
crafting.
call you the bling queen.
Uh, yeah.
You know what? And I'm glad you shared your story because this is the thing that I notice about most women. The time that we come to by the time we come to the realization that we need to do our self-care, it's because we've been forced to face some kind of health crisis.
Right.
Mine didn't come until I had to be very honest and very realistic with myself. I have a heart condition.
Mm-hmm.
And at the age of 26, I had congestive heart failure.
Mm-hmm.
So I developed a very serious condition at a very young age. And for years, it took me forever to reprogram how I thought about food, how I
Mm-hmm.
thought about cooking things, because I've been cooking since I was 5. And I make this joke all the time about people from the country will fry anything. We'll fry water if we can get it to stay in the grease. And you have to, get your mindset around, I have to change some things to take care of myself so that I'm here basically. So I'm staying here so I can take care of somebody else. But it,
Exactly.
yeah, it comes to you once you hit your own wall and you hit your own health crisis. And then you go, wait a minute, I might need to slow down just a little bit. I might need to, concentrate on, sleeping a little bit more. Or, I had issue for a long time when stopping when I was tired,
Mm-hmm.
because I would feel like once I started on the project, I don't care if I'm drop dead tired about to pass out, I got to get it finished.
Got to finish it.
Exactly. And I had to learn it can wait. It's not a life or death situation. And if I don't need to finish it right this second, it's okay to take a break if you're tired. It's okay to rest if you're tired and not feel guilty about it.
Exactly.
So talk about well, you talked about when you say self-care, you just talked about how you came to it, but what does it actually mean to you when you tell another woman, we need to focus on self-care? What does self-care really mean to you?
To me, it means any intentional activity
Hmm.
that you do to focus on yourself. Intentional, which means that you do it with a purpose. So
Hmm.
you're gonna just say, if I'm going to take a nap, then you identify that I'm going to take a nap because I'm tired. Uh,
Hmm.
if you say that I am even because self-care, a lot of things people may think that it's like getting a massage, and it's not always that. It's
Hmm.
not getting a massage, it's not shopping. Sometimes being intentional deals with your inner self when you're thinking about, like, my mind is feeling overwhelmed, or
Hmm.
I may be feeling like some lack in my spiritual relationship with God. So if I need to take time to pray, read my
Hmm.
Bible, um, be interacting with somebody else that's not lacking, then it's intentional. So I may plan a meeting with my pastor or my spiritual mentor, my sister that is because everybody is not lacking in those areas. So
That's
if I
true.
intentionally connect with somebody, just like they tell us, being a therapist, every therapist needs a therapist. So I can find somebody who is not dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with and be intentional about my self-care. And that's mind, body, and soul. So everything works together. So if you're out of sync in one area, it tends to affect
Hmm.
how everything else works. So it's any intentional activity that you may plan out to do for yourself.
Mhm.
That's what it means to me.
I'm glad that you mentioned mind, body, and soul, because I think sometimes we stop and rest because the physical part of us is tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, and this was something I was just thinking about the other day. I was driving back from down home, and I was thinking about how many times during COVID, and especially in the pandemic, we've been trapped in the house for a little while, and we're out. People are still moving around. I don't think we ever really stopped moving around, but how much more stress that we've been under because of this, and how that has affected us on our mind, body, and soul. Because, for us, my church is still not open. We're still not having in-person service.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be absolutely honest with you. It's been some Sundays I have literally felt lost because I was not physically sitting in, and look, I'm old enough to say in my seat.
Right.
I have my special pew I sit in, and you better not be sitting in my spot.
Right.
But because to me, church is where I go. Now, this is going to sound strange because you're going, well, do you not listen to the pastor? Yes, I do. But it's a whole experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
Church is more than me just going and listening to the sermon and then coming home. I can actually sit in church, and even if he didn't preach a sermon, I still heard one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm being ministered to by the music.
Right.
I'm being ministered to by being in a group of believers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being ministered to because I can sit there and me and God can have a conversation. It doesn't matter that it's another 200 people in the room with me. I'm in a place where I can settle my mind. I can get quiet.
Exactly.
And I can be still and I can listen. And it rejuvenates me.
Right.
So with us not being able to do that, and I still listen to our sermons. We have our churches on YouTube. So I make sure I listen to the sermons every week. But I've noticed that I have really, really, really missed having my place. Yes, Miss Margaret, fellowship. I've missed being able to go and sit in my pew, listen to the choir, listen to the pastor, be in the presence of other believers, and just rest. And I know that probably sounds weird to somebody to say you went to church to rest. Yeah, I do, because it's my quiet place. It's my place I go to I unwind, and where I can go and just let my mind be settled and get refreshed, and then I'm ready for another week.
Another week, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it may sound weird, but there's a whole group of us that have that same response. It's like, people think I can't wait for the weekend. You think I can't wait for Sunday morning. And so it's like I got to get to church. And you said it is that sacred place that you look forward to getting to. And so since we have not been able to do that, it's been over a year for a lot of people. For us, I know it has been. So that is an area where you have to be intentional about, creating a space and a time to connect with God. If it is the streaming services that you have to do, you have to have that set aside time to do that. Even make it where it is that same time that you normally would do that without any distractions. And for some, that may be hard being in the house because you never know. Like you said, being locked in the house, everybody is not safe and comfortable in their house.
That's true.
Where they can do that. So you may have to go outside, go sit in the car, just have to be intentional about it once you know that that's what you need to do to help you to get that time away. Even if you have to do the replay. Set aside time to connect with God and your leaders in your church.
Yeah. I think one of the other things I was thinking about since pandemic also is to, I watch everybody's videos, and for a while I have some health issues that prevent me every now and again from being able to walk, because when my feet are bad, and folks probably like, she talking about her feet all the doggone time. Y'all, they hurt. I'm just serious. I have chronic pain. And again, I had a coworker used to tell me, he said, "Boy, you the best looking sick person I've ever seen." Because I don't look like anything's wrong, but I do, like you're saying, suffer with chronic pain. And there's some times where I'm not able to get up and do something as simple as go walking. So
Mm-hmm.
at the very beginning of the pandemic, one of the ways I dealt with the self-care for me was that I went walking every day.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I've noticed that just about a lot of folks have done since we have been in, kind of, I'm not going to say lockdown, but since we have been inside a little bit more, is you see more people focused on working out, more
Mm-hmm.
people focused on eating better.
Right.
A lot of people have developed, meditation habits, and then you're starting to see more people actually breathe and slow down.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of that is you're also seeing more workaholics. Because now working from home, it's very hard to say, okay, 4 o'clock is cutoff time.
Right.
It's very hard for you to now put work in a time frame, because you can go and get on the computer at any time, 2 in the morning, and you can write a report.
Right.
So we're kind of, in some ways we're doing well about doing our self-care, and in some ways we're losing it because we're bleeding too many things together, and we're kind of becoming overworkers in a time when you should kind of be maybe mellowed out a little bit. So I just kind of think about that a lot. For women, because we talk about, let's say, me and we ain't forget y'all. I'm to the girls right now. For women, how important do you think it is for us to have a self-care regimen?
I personally think it's very, very important. Um, and that goes back to all the different assignments and
Mhm.
responsibilities that women normally have. And it oftentimes, I can say for myself, that it seems like you're burning two and three ends of the fire. And
Mm.
there's really only two ends, when you look at
The candle, yep.
but you end up, just kind of trying to do and, like you say, do and be everything for everybody. And it's very, very important. And what happens is, if you don't do self care or have a self care regimen, your body's going to drop you and going to stop you. And that's where you can have a lot of somatic complaints, headaches, backaches, uh, digestive problems,
Mhm.
just anything that you can think of medically. Your body will tend to start to um, show you and make you stop. And so then you got to stop and go to the doctor.
Mhm.
Well, if you have a self care regimen, not to say that you won't have some of those somatic complaints, but you can kind of better have a handle on it and be more aware of what your body is telling you. So if you have a self-care regimen, you say, well, Miss Nora, how do I create that? Uh, you just got to put it in your calendar. We have all kind of notebooks and tablets,
Mhm.
but are you putting yourself on that tablet? Are you putting yourself on the schedule? And somebody said, well, I do stuff, but are you doing it as a regimen? Is it a routine that you've created? People that I've worked with that have had problems with not being able to sleep. So I talked to them about, like, how do you prepare for sleep? Do you just drop dead and go to sleep? Or do you have a routine, like a nighttime routine? Do you have a morning routine? So you have to develop what works for you. Your
Mhm.
plan may be differently because your children may be younger or older, and it calls you to do different types of schedules. So you can't compare yourself to what Mary is doing. You have to develop your own regimen and try to work it. And I think that women should have something that they're doing for themselves daily
Mhm.
versus weekly. Because some people may say, well, one time out of the month I do blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
Well, if you leave a light on all month long, eventually what's going to happen?
It's gonna burn out.
It's going to burn out. So that's the same thing for your personal self.
Mhm.
If you keep it plugged in and always going, then you're going to see the effects of it.
Mhm.
It may take you longer than that particular light bulb would, to kind of see it. But by the time you stop and take a break, then you figure out, oh, these things are here. I've waited too long to address them. And that can be in your mental, your physical, it can be your finances, because self-care is like all of it all together.
Mhm.
So if you don't have some type of routine or regimen, then all that stuff is kind of like kind of all over the place, and that's what you don't want to happen. So it's
I'm glad.
very important.
Uh-oh. Does that mean? Something, the sound went weird on me. Huh. Okay, well, that means, okay, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my sound went strange all of a sudden. I'm like, what is the feedback? Okay. I'm glad you mentioned and say that it includes all those things, because if you're stressed out about money, you're stressed out about work, you're not going to sleep well.
Mm-mm.
If you're stressed out about kids, you're stressed out about your marriage, you're stressed about whatever else, you're not going to eat well.
Right.
If you're stressed out about your money and your food, you're not going to rest well. So, like you said, and it's a domino effect, because one thing does affect all those other things. And once you get to a place where you can sit back and go, wait a minute, let me balance. Because the key to all of this is, like you said earlier, is that everything be in some type of balance.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that we cannot pour from an empty cup.
Mm-mm.
So trying to fill that cup up once a month and thinking you're going to run off of that same fuel for the whole month, not going to work.
No, it's not going to work.
And I love that you said do something for yourself daily, to take that time to just, and to me, that's something as simple as, if you're sitting at your desk, take a 5-minute mental vacation. Just do something to focus on, take the focus off of what you're working on that minute, and just give yourself a deep breathe, and just catch your breath sometimes. Because I think that once we kick into work mode, and particularly if you're somebody trying to build, or you're trying to create, or you're trying to do, and you're working on your passion, you don't notice that you're tired.
Right.
Until it's too late.
It's too late.
Either, like you said, your body is either put you down, or you laying in the hospital going, okay, now what happened?
Right.
And I say that because I've had that to happen.
Mm-hmm. I have too.
Yeah.
A whole lot of times.
Yeah, you crash. And I think we realize that we've been going as hard and doing as much as we have until you literally crash.
Yeah, it's like you crash into the point of you become ineffective in what it is that you're working on. You may seem like I'm getting a lot of things done, but then when you sit back and realize, like, I have a lot of unfinished things, a lot of stuff that I've kind of started, and I'm too tired to get done, and then I start spilling over into to everything, and it gets your life gets kind of like chaotic. So if you are going to focus on that, it's going to help you to be, more vital, and whatever your passion is and your purpose, whatever your assignment is. If you are taking care of yourself, then you're going to be more effective. You'll see a lot of things that you're able to check off. I know a lot of people are they are like planners, and they plan out a lot of stuff. Some of those people are probably more effective in getting things done, because they are really like taking time to look, not the OCD type, but they're being more effective because they evaluate, and maybe at the end of the day, or they may do this on Sunday. For them, that is kind of therapeutic. They make it fun, and it's cute, and that's a creative way to plan out your activities, or like plan out self-care, or even if you don't identify what it is, because sometimes self-care is doing absolutely nothing. Like today, I'm going to do nothing. And other people may not understand you. Like
it's like, what do you mean?
Nothing.
I don't know how to do nothing.
Yeah. And look, don't call, don't text, because today is one of those days I'm doing nothing. And that doesn't happen a whole lot. But for you, if you decide that that's what you're going to do, is I'm not going to do anything, you be okay with that. And there's another thing too, is like, can you be okay with doing activities for yourself as a mom?
And not feeling guilty.
Not feeling guilty, because the children gonna call you. If you at home and they at school and they call, Mom, what you doing? you almost want to answer, because they got an assignment for you. I need you to go and do this. Can you pick this up for me? Like,
I'm
okay,
doing nothing.
nothing
That's what I'm doing.
after 5 o'clock. Now call me back after 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your daughter is in these comments cheering for you.
Yeah.
Gabrielle,
Oh wow. I didn't even know.
my baby. Go, mama.
I didn't know she was watching because I can't.
Mhm.
I'm not looking at the comments, but
Yeah, she cheering for you then.
this.
And Miss Margaret, you are so right. It is okay to say no. And as women, we really do have to learn how to say that. And it took me a long time to say maybe not this time, or let me try next time, or I had to find all these different ways to say no. Because I noticed that if you call me at whatever time, okay, half eyeball hanging out, one leg half broke, my back hurt, I can't see straight, but I'm still trying to drag. And, okay, here I come, and I'm like, you gonna kill yourself trying to sit down somewhere. Sometimes it's okay to say no. I cannot do it. I cannot go. I do not want to talk. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit here and be quiet. And
Right.
sometimes you need to. So, but you know what? As women, especially women who are overachievers,
Mm-hmm.
to be still is painful. It's very hard to be still, especially if you're somebody that's been used to going and ripping and running and doing stuff, and you say, okay, today I'm gonna be still. It's almost like you cannot be still. You twitching because you just need to do something, and your body going, sit down. I want to rest, but you have to learn how to afford, like you said, schedule it out. I'm a list person.
Right.
And on certain days, I have certain activities I do. And I've learned that if there's 3 activities on that day to do, don't try to do 16.
Right. Just do those. Do those 3.
Do those 3. And when you do those 3, hey, you've done your success for the day. You've done it. Hey, tomorrow do 3 more. Because I
Yeah.
can remember days when I used to have that to-do list that was a whole page long. And then you don't get to do all that stuff because number one, you overloaded yourself to begin with.
Right.
And then you have that feeling of guilt because you didn't finish it all. And now you're feeling overwhelmed and you cannot sleep because you worried about the doggone list.
Right.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
And when you have those high demanding jobs that those workers who said they can't like take lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a problem where you're saying that you can't take lunch.
Yeah.
So you have to one, put a note on the door, or make sure you go out to your car. Don't sit in your office for.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, especially like now doing the COVID, where people have been stuck in the houses and they're not getting those usual lunch breaks, how you were discussing earlier. There's been times where I've just decided, okay, I'm going to go and, like walk outside, just to say that I took that break. Because we kind of have like scheduled lunchtime, especially when we're training.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make sure that I'm not checking the email during that time, and really not looking at my phone for like a work text message. Just this is that period. I'm gonna go outside, or I'm gonna do something, that's separate from work. Because you can sit at your computer, like you said, from 9 o'clock. And boy, I was like, this is a lot just being stuck in front of the computer. Because even at my office, we have time where we can get up and walk around, go to the coffee room and things like that. And 9 times out of 10, we're not having that at home if we're working behind the computer screen all day. So you have to figure out, what can I do to be able to still get that time, or get some stretches in while you're sitting at the desk.
Exactly.
To still stay moving, because a lot of people are probably starting to develop some medical stuff from sitting down so long at the computer.
That's true.
So it's a thing that you have to really make it be intentional. Like, what am I going to do? And I'm going to write it down. I'm going to take a break at this time.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sleep with your cell phone on?
With it on?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But I mean, I'm sleeping. I'm not like answering. It's plugged up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't turn my phone off.
Do you know that I admire people that can turn off their cell phone at night? I don't know why, because I don't. Number one, I'm paranoid and I don't have a landline. So if
Me,
you got to reach me, you got to reach me by cell phone. So I
yeah.
don't turn it off.
And see, for me, I don't have to have my cell phone for work. Now, some people have their cell phone for work, but now if I had a work cell phone, yes, I would turn it off. But since I have like most of my family is not in my area where I am, I keep my phone on because if they're gonna call me, then I need to be able to be reached. So I don't turn my phone off.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you don't, because I don't either. Because I'm paranoid about the same thing. My thing, we have 4 children. They're all adults, but we have 6 grandkids. So in my mind, I'm like, I need the phone on. So if something happens, everybody can reach me. Plus, my dad lives out of town, and he's a little bit older, and my siblings live out of state. So I keep it on. But I also, and this is something I bet if we could poll people, I want to know how many people at night can't sleep because they're on their cell phone.
Oh, well, yeah,
and not unplugging. Yeah.
right.
How many of us are losing rest because we can't unplug? And we live in a world of Zoom meetings now, Zoom calls. You name a meeting service, we're on it. I have Zoom. Last week I had 5, and I don't know how I did this. I had 5 Zoom meetings in a row, and I'm like, when did this happen and why?
Why?
I promised myself on a Monday.
Like, who scheduled all this?
I did it.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, what was wrong with me? Was I drunk? Why did I schedule 5 Zoom? And it was like, and they were on the hour.
Ooh.
And I'm like, wonder why did I actually sit here and had a whole conversation with myself, like, what possessed you? What is wrong? I was on Zoom from 11. I think the last one was at 4.
Oh, wow.
11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the last one. No, the last one ended at 3, and I had a doctor's appointment at 4.
So you were rushing.
Yeah, so I had to get off the Zoom call and go to my doctor's office and be there by 4. I said, I bet I never do that again.
Yeah, that's a lot in one day in regards to Zoom.
So, we get one of the big things I say for us for self-care is knowing when to unplug, turn off social media, turn off TV, unplug. Just don't answer and it's very hard, particularly like for us, we have kids and you don't want to mess up and miss, an important call. But at the same time, sometimes you just have to tell people, hey, from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I'm not taking any calls. I understand if it's an emergency, call me then. But if not, let me just have from 3 to 5, no calls, just peace and quiet. Now, I wish we could some kind of way let the telemarketers and the spam folks know that. Some suckers call off.
They call never at 8 o'clock.
So disrespectful.
Yeah, they start at 8 o'clock, and then they start using numbers that you may think is something.
Yep. You see a number that's similar to yours, like, yeah, that's a trick. That's a trick.
They real smart with that. Telemarketer.
Now, a lot of people have to sleep with background noise. And I will say this, for the past 2 weeks, I've actually been sleeping without the TV on. And I noticed that I'm actually sleeping better. Used to be I had to hear and I have a weird thing. Now, I don't watch scary stuff. Anybody that knows me know I'm scared as I'll get out. So I do not watch horror movies. I watch nothing scary. Now, I love some unsolved mysteries. But I won't watch horror.
Yeah, there's a difference.
That's kind of different scary. But I don't watch horror movies. So when I'm going to sleep, if I'm watching TV, I have to turn to a comedy show. So I go to sleep to laughter. And I sleep better. But I noticed in the last couple of weeks with me trying to figure out more ways to get better rest, that I'm actually sleeping better without the TV on. And I also find these little videos on YouTube that you can listen to. It's like calm and meditation music. Oh my God. You talking about sleep hard as a rock.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is. The music creeps my husband out. It's so funny. He's like, please, none of that air music tonight. I'm like, but I sleep better if I'm listening to the weird air music.
Yeah.
Because it's relaxing and it just puts you to sleep. I
Yeah.
sleep better. So you find little weird ways to sneak your self-care in and help yourself find different ways to rest. Now, what are some of the tips that you use? You know, when you're doing self-care planning with people, what are some of the things that you do?
One of the things is encouraging like journal writing. 'Cause
Mm.
sometimes you can do those in the morning, or
Mm-hmm.
if it works better for you to do them like at night after it's quiet, kind of clear your thoughts. That's one of the biggest ones is like journal writing or reading a book. Actually, as we're talking about books, I have a book. I think it was probably like 2017 that I wrote Self Care 101, and it
Mm-hmm.
has over 101 activities
Oh,
that,
wow.
so if you're struggling with activities, that's a good resource that you could use, uh,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of think of things that you can do to help you with the self care plan. Um, so you have journaling, reading a good book. Sometimes it could be like calling an old friend, somebody that you haven't talked to in a really long time, catching up, um, drinking tea. That's one of the other good things that I like doing at night is I will take I drink turmeric tea, so I have like a hot tea before going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Always prayer. Prayer is always good as a good self care activity, and I really like the journaling a whole lot uh,
Mm-hmm.
because even if you can't talk to people, then you can always write it down.
Yeah.
um, Writing down your thoughts, and then sometimes you may need to go back and look at your thoughts, and because sometimes when we write down our thoughts, if you started off like things that you're grateful for, I
Mm-hmm.
have this little, and it's sitting right here, and I'd start off with today I'm thankful for. So if you can start off with an attitude of gratitude and not getting up thinking about all the things that I have to do, just write down, what it is that I'm thankful for. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because when we think of the things that are happening that's good, it kind of help you better approach your day.
Yeah.
So I encourage you with the journaling to just start off being thankful, work on changing your mindset, and just kind of jump starting your day with positive thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
positive affirmation, declaring today is going to be a good day. Even if you wake up and you feel the worst, like me, who woke up feeling like the 18 wheeler has landed on my back and my
Oh, my
body,
God.
uh, I still get up and I say, today's gonna be a good day. I may be moving a little slow,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe that it's gonna be a good day, and so that kind of helps me to kind of keep on pushing with my activities. And I also have this thing where it says, "Look better than you feel." So if you make that be intentional about
Mm-hmm.
being intentional about how you look, and people may wonder, well, you always like dressed up. It's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's part of my routine is that I put effort in how I present myself, because if
Mm-hmm.
it came out how I'm feeling, you may be thinking, I need to take Miss Nora over to St. Vincent. So I am intentional about preparing myself. I may have to get up a little bit earlier to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that when it's time for me to leave, that I'm looking my best. I
Mm-hmm.
don't go out with bonnets on. Some people do. Well, I'm just running to the store. Nah. uh, and I mean, and it's part of that personal self care of just making sure that I am looking better than I feel. Because I don't want people that don't know me or don't talk to me. I know they may hear me on this platform and they may hear that I have this condition, but if I hadn't sat down and talked to you, then you wouldn't know that I'm physically not doing well. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't walk around in a pity party. Uh,
Exactly.
I'm very intentional about making sure that I look better than I feel, and that I'm encouraging people. Um, if you see me, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to encourage somebody, and even if it's just dropping a little nugget, just to say something to encourage you to have a good day. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
those are things that I do for myself, is try to encourage other people. Because if I shed a little light on somebody else, then that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And
I,
so,
oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Oh, I learned the lesson. I worked with this nurse. It's been many moons ago at St. Vincent, and we worked 12 and 16-hour shifts. She always worked 16. I worked 12. And at halfway, her first 8-hour shift, she always came to work, every hair in place, makeup flawless, uniform pressed and starched, and just creases sharp as I don't know what. This lady would look like this after 10 hours of work. At 12-hour point, she looks the same. And one day I was like, okay, she knows some magic or something. What is going on? It's like, how do you still look? She says at the end of the first shift, she goes in the bathroom, she freshens her hair, she freshens her makeup, she puts on some more lipstick. And I was like, man, because she at 60, after 12 hours, I look like I've been, like you said, 18 wheeler and hit and drug you a little bit.
Yeah.
And tired and about to pass out, just back hurt, feet hurt, everything hurt. And she would look like she just had walked into work. And
Wow.
she told me one day, I don't know what had happened. And I guess I must have had a really terrible look on my face. She said, go in the bathroom, put some lipstick on.
Mm-hmm.
What? She was like, go in the bathroom, wash your face, and put on some lipstick. And I was like, well, why am I going to do this? She said, because when you put on lipstick, you can't help but smile. And I swear she told me that 20 years ago. And I tell you what, to this day, if I am having a rough day, I put on lipstick. And it does not matter what color. Now, the red of the bell, because she wore some really pretty red lipstick. But she was like, wash your face and put some lipstick on. It's going to make you smile. And I started noticing that. It was like, I bet you 10 years later, that came to me one day. This was after I'd been diagnosed with the heart problem. And I was having a really rough day. I wasn't feeling well. I was having to run around. I had a lot of stuff going on. And I could hear her voice in the back of my head going, put on some lipstick. I was in the bathroom. I washed my face and I put on lipstick. And the rest of the day, I was like, because the only thing I could think about, she said, put lipstick on, you're going to smile. And I smiled the rest of it's like it instantly gave me that pickup.
And that's one of those intentional activities.
Mm-hmm.
Just this small, you identify that that's something that's intentional that you do.
Yep. Well, so that's one of them. I still to this day, 20-some years. I saw her probably about 2 years ago at an event. And I told her, I said, I still wear my lipstick. And I know she ain't been to know who I was, man or more. It didn't matter. I knew she was.
Right.
And I just told her, thank you. I still wear I still put on my lipstick. And she looked at me and you could tell she went, I kind of know you, but I ain't sure. And she kind of went, oh, she said, what I tell you? You said put lipstick on. I said, so whenever I'm having a day, I still put on my lipstick. But yeah, doing those things that make you, feel good. I noticed that one of the things that I used to do, and I still do it, not so much since the pandemic is going on, but volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
And most people go, well, that's work. Yes and no. It's a passion because, yours is with fibromyalgia, mine was heart disease. So I used to do a lot of educational events and talk to people about heart disease. I love to cook. So I did cooking demonstrations.
Mm-hmm.
I did TV show, TV news shows where I did cooking demonstrations on those. So a lot of different stuff I did. It wasn't necessarily to be seen. It was because, number one, it helped me. Number two, it also helped other people.
Exactly.
And I would feel better. There were days that I had to get up and go do some of that stuff where when I woke up that morning, my body felt like I had been through some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have that kind of energy. But then when you start thinking about how many other women are you going to help if you just show up?
Just show up. Yeah.
If you can just get yourself up and get dressed, put your lipstick on, and everybody knows, and most people have never seen me without jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever leave my house.
Yeah.
Now, that bonnet, wearing a bonnet to work, no, if you catch me without some earrings and a necklace on, you're taking me to St. Vince because I'm sick.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I have to have that on. Makes me feel like I'm fully dressed and I feel better. But you get up and you do stuff for other people, and you'll be amazed at how you can have a achy back, some sore feet, toothache.
You don't even think about it.
You
Yep.
don't, nope,
You
because
don't.
you're helping somebody else.
And I guess like in what you saying that makes me think about how if you do put in that little bit of time and it takes away from you thinking about I'm physically hurting, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's just a little bit of time that you're feeling good,
Mm-hmm.
then you got a plus.
Yep.
And so even just something just as simple as volunteering to go and help somebody out, it's
Mm-hmm.
like a distraction, and it's you are being intentional about I'm doing this with a purpose, and
Mm-hmm.
it helps me feel better. It's not work, and it's
Exactly.
doing something that you enjoy doing, and that's why when you asked about the activities, you find things that you gain pleasure out of, and that is going to help you to feel better. And it's something that you decided that you wanted
Mm-hmm.
some time doing, and that could be your me time. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm helping other women at this particular time.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm crafting at this particular time because this is what I decided that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to do it for 3 hours or I want to do it for 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
you have that, you gain gratitude from that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
I know you had asked me about my tips or what I thought, and I did have like 10 of them that I can go through real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The viewers can, kind of like jot down.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna try to type them while you sing.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Now, look, I gotta sit up.
the the first one is for me
Mm-hmm.
is to maintain your spiritual well-being, and that's through prayer, meditation, and just like reflections.
Okay.
Number two, scheduling me time. Just making a schedule, whether it's morning or afternoon, lunchtime, and these are daily activities that you that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Number three,
Oh,
learning.
oh. I
No,
missed
you still on two.
Thank you, Spirit. Lord, see, I'm getting old, girl. You said maintain your spiritual something, and I
Spiritual
forgot that.
well-being.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, well-being.
Well-being.
Let's do
Well-being.
prayer, meditations, or reflections.
Prayer, meditation, and reflection. Okay, and then the next one.
Number two was scheduling me time.
Okay, got it.
Number three, learning to say no.
Okay,
That's easy.
that's the big one.
Not doing.
No.
Number four, having a balance between work, family, and self.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I spelled between wrong, but y'all can proofread that yourself.
Number five,
Mm-hmm.
it is okay to slow down.
Ooh, yes. Because that's the one that we technically have to give ourselves permission to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Number six, learn to laugh.
oh, yeah.
Sometimes people get on your nerve, just laugh.
I don't know now. Sometimes that's not a good thing.
It depends on where you at, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I'm messing with you.
Uh,
Having from laughing, that means you better run.
and that I mean, and like when you learn to laugh, sometimes you have to not be so serious and
Mm-hmm.
uptight,
Mm-hmm.
like this stiff person. Just relax, laugh.
Yeah.
A little humor in life. Number seven, reframe failure.
Reframe.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way you look at things has a whole lot, and we won't. There's a whole nother
That's a whole other show right there, girl.
But just keep in mind, reframe failure, because everything that you think that you failed at, there's another purpose. So
exactly, that's another lesson.
Number 8, keep an attitude of gratitude. So we're gonna be thankful.
Okay.
And number 9, have a creative outlet. And number 10, this is a big one. Avoid negativity.
Ooh. Now, see, that's another show too.
Like that is
another show too.
So, avoid negativity.
Look, at all costs.
At all costs. Avoid negativity.
Yep. That is that man. That last one, yeah. All guys, people. We all have suckers in our life. So we all have people that suck our energy, that suck our mind, that suck our willpower, that suck our happiness. They're just suckers. So you have to avoid suckers. You have to avoid people that just breed negativity. They cannot ever see there's never a silver lining. It's just always rain and doom and gloom and storms. And you like, get away from me.
Wow.
So I do agree, honey. Those are good tips. So y'all, I do not type fast, but I type them. If it's some spelling errors in there, oh well. I know how to spell. And y'all know how to proofread. So just go with what I typed in. I think we are getting close to our time. Oh, goodness. We have been talking good, honey. It's 7:56. So, last thing. You mentioned your book. Tell people how they can they still get copies of it?
Yeah, they still can get copies. It's available on Amazon, SelfCare 101 for women. Okay. And also you can get that same copy off of my website. And my website is laraynaturals.com.
And spell that for me.
LARAY naturals, all one word, .com. Laray Naturals. LARAY Naturals.
I told you I didn't know. I was like, she just said what? Oh, let's see the way Naturals. Okay. Okay. All right. Just make sure that you folks pick up the book and get the information. All right. Well, honey, thank you so much. I have y'all spelled care wrong. Y'all, care is CARE. Y'all know what I was trying to type. I told y'all. I know how to spell. I promise.
One for women.
I have 2 degrees. I cannot type though. So I have so enjoyed talking to you tonight, and I hope that everybody else has enjoyed the show. I have to go back in these comments and give a shout out because we had one guy, which is always funny because normally never see the men come on. John Jackson, that's got to be one of your folks.
It is.
It is. Thank you, John. We appreciate you tuning in.
We forgot to mention about the group, where women can connect. There are no men in the group. It is a private group that you can get encouragement. You can get self-care tips. There's other self-care advocates that are there, other business women sharing tips, encouragement. And it's SelfCare 101 for women on Facebook. And you can connect, you can refer it. If you want to be a member and you want to come in there and help us be the best that we can be, we're always looking for new women to come and, just connect with each other, network. It's just a good place to be, because sometimes that could be your self-care. Just reading some information, it is there and available. It's free, and you're welcome to come and be a part.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming, for tuning in tonight. I've so enjoyed you, Miss Ayers and Miss Nora. I've
Thank you
so
for
enjoyed
inviting
it.
me. I'm
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so honored to be a part of your discussion today. I
All
enjoyed
right. Well, we'll have to have you come back because we're going to have a whole show on this avoid negativity thing. And
it.
there's a couple, it was one more. It was that one? It was something else we said. Well, we're going to talk about that because that's reframing failure.
Oh, reframing failure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We definitely have to work on our self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because that reframing failure, if you can ever figure out how to do that and not look at things as failures and only lessons,
Lessons,
man.
blocks, stepping stones.
Exactly.
So we changing our mindset.
Yep.
All how you look at things, perception matters. So
Exactly. So we'll have to come back and have a show about that one too, because it's a couple of women I can think of that, man, we can have a very nice conversation about that. But thank you so much. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Thank you, ladies, for coming in the comment session. I hope that you all enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week again, next Tuesday. I have another amazing guest. We're going to be talking about Minority Health Month. Since April is Minority Health Month. So we'll have some information. We're going to keep with our theme of staying healthy. You know, last week we had affirmations to help with our mental health and to kind of help us keep moving along and inspiring us to do great things. This week we're talking about self-care. So next week we're going to keep the ball rolling and we're going to be talking about minority health. So make sure that you tune in next Tuesday right here on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure that you follow, like, subscribe, hit the bell so that you get the notifications. And we will see you again Tuesday. Don't ever ask me dates because I'm gonna say the wrong one. It's 13th though. I got it right this time. Tuesday, April 13th at 7 p.m. right here again in the latest sound to Wonder Lowe. I'm your host, Wonder Lowe, and we will see you next week. Miss Ayers, stick around because I want to get a picture real quick and then we're gonna get out of here tonight, okay?
Okay.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.